Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the AMX 13F3AM. It's the Tier 6 French SPG. This one's located on the south spawn of Fisherman's Bay, and it's under the command of a fingernail clipping. And he's got the Bounty rotation device, gun laying drive, and an ordinary rammer. Game on! Well, one of the lighter Artys in the game, it's only 18.5 tons. It's a 13-ton tank, but a very heavy howitzer mounted on top of it. Yes, he can fire the entire range of the battlefield, and a lot of players will go straight past the AMX 13AM, which is the one just before this, the Tier 5, in order to get to this one, because it can fire all the way over the other side. And of course, it's a 155mm howitzer. And look at 3 tanks together in the same area. Very bad news. Well, he hit one of them. He got the E25 there for 355 hit points. Now, these shells are capable of doing 630 alpha with the stun shell, 39mm pen, 7.6 meters on the burst radius, and between 11 and 22 seconds of stun. But with the stun shells, and that's what Fingernail is using, it's 770 alpha, 49mm pen, but only a 4 meters burst radius. So at the moment, he can't see the enemy, but I think he can probably guess that there are a few in there. He's decided to look elsewhere. He's holding down the right-hand mouse button. As you can see there, the reticule stayed still, even though he was looking elsewhere. He found the E25. Fired the round in, but the E25 had already moved, so changing position. Now, due to the topography of the Fisherman's Bay map, because of that big hill that rises until you get to the center of the map, you can't be seen from the enemy tanks on the other side of the battlefield. It's a pretty big ridgeline, if you think about it, running right through the center. So he can move about quite freely at the moment, but if the enemy tanks do make it up to the center line, they can look down on this area, and therefore he would need to move and get into cover, because he might be spotted. The other problem, of course, is that the area on the far west of the map is raised. And there's a pretty good chance that if he stays in that area, he might also be spotted. That's why a lot of tanks will actually stay just below that little hill at the bottom, covered by the houses that are in grid square J2 and K2. And that should cover them. But of course, if the enemy tanks make it through the town, then he has to go into that wooded area up on the hill. But there's a possibility that they might get spotted. He's looking at the center of the map at the moment, trying to see the enemy tanks, the light tanks that are up there. In fact, there's a few medium tanks up there as well. Most of the light tanks seem to be on the west side of the map, which is what you kind of expect. Looking at the town, you see the enemy is trying to force their way through. Our guys are acting defensively. Now, he fired in at the VK, and he did get some damage there. Looking at the mini-map, we can see that one of the enemy RTs is at the back of the map, and that's why it's looking there now. In order for the enemy RT to fire into the town, and they did just recently fire, they would have to be firing from this area back up here. So we're looking for the tracer. Just heard the whoosh of a shell. So somebody is located in this area. Now, one of the tricks Arty players does use is to turn off all the visuals, and you can do that by pressing the V key. And if you do that, then obviously the tracer becomes much more visible. Another target, Super Hellcat. Now you can see he's looking, his gun's looking forward. Oh no, that one wasn't fully dialed in. His gun was looking forward at the time, so he was probably trying to protect himself from our chopper, who's the only tank up at the center line, but he probably doesn't know that. Now, this Arty only carries 25 rounds. It's not a huge amount, and in fact, actually, wargaming should definitely increase some of the shells held by the Arty, because of course we're kind of limited on the amount of damage we can do in a battle. If you usually it means that you actually have to become a spotter rather than an actively engaged member of the team, because that's all you can do once you've run out of shells. Quite a few Arty have very limited number of shells. Straight off, the Object 261 only has 20, and of course the T92 HMC only has 16. This is a tier 7 battle with tier 6 tanks, so most of the Arty do have enough, but 25, or 26 rather, is not a lot. So I think the AMX 13 F3 should carry more, mainly because the AMX 13, sorry, it is 25 shells actually. The AMX 13 actually had trucks to look after it. The trucks would carry the crew, because of course only 2 crew are actually located in the AMX 13 at any one time. That's of course the driver and the commander, and they're both on the same side of the vehicle. They're on the left side of the vehicles because the engine is on the right side at the front. You can see the viewports for those crew members actually on the model. We're getting kind of penned in here now. The enemy managed to make its way through the town. That looked fairly close, but now he's had to go into this wooded area, and now you can see that there are artillerymen making their way in. The enemy's got a GW Panther, and they've also got an AMX 13 F3. We've got the M12 and our AMX 13 F3. Okay, target. That was a direct hit, no doubt about that one whatsoever. And in fact, now we've got our fellow Arty alongside us. We've now got the side-by-side skill coming in to increase the crew efficiency bonus. Of course, the problem with that is you've got 2 tracers coming out the same area, which makes you much easier to spot. Okay, that chopper was making his way up. Oh, that was a kill! A blind kill to a fisherman's fingernail clipping, rather. Fisherman's Bay. So, very, very good. And now we've got a box tank who's kind of crimping our style, but we are being forced into this tiny little area. And that means that the enemy Arty are probably going to be firing a few rounds in. That looked to be the M12 getting a direct hit on the AMX 1357. Just saw the tracer from our M12 firing at him. And he didn't die, so which means he's probably a one-shot, because the armor on the AMX 1357 is ridiculously low. We can see him now, actually. There he is. In fact, he's got a 369. We're trying to get a shot, but again, it's difficult because that depression in the ground there, the ridge line, is actually stopping us getting a shell. There he is again. But if he backs up, we can probably hit. Rounds out. Yes! Nicely done. Oh, well, we did knock the tree over, and the round that came in, luckily for us, it wasn't a stun shell. It was actually one of the heat rounds. So it just made a fizzle when it hit the ground. Knocking all these trees over does give us general cover. You can see that M12 is kind of out in the open. We're 2 down on the enemy at the moment, so they're having a good job pushing us in. Our Excalibur's gone a long way north on this side, and he's stopping the IKV-65-2 and the Hellcat from coming in from that direction. He's trying to get the shell to land on that rock. So we've got 2 of these non-stun shells left, 9 of the stun ones. Oh, we just got the Super Hellcat. And that means now that he's got 11 shells. Can he get a shot on this Shunu? He's loaded. direct hit. 354, that was a good one. Didn't pen, but it certainly made him a one-shot now because one of our guys got a hit. And the Super Hellcat finishes him off with a 90mm. So, now it's 10 all. 2 of the enemy tanks are down this end of the map. The Excalibur did take some damage, so he's actually coming back. The other 2, the Arty, are, well, they're closer than they were. I think they have got closer. The BZ58 is over on the east side of the map. It would not be a good idea for us to push forward on the west side. Not just yet. Oh, he's just got a blind kill. He worked out the Hellcat did go to the usual spot. They hid in the bushes and they got wiped out. Oh, very well played. Yes, if all else fails, go for the usual spots, and the enemy might actually be hiding there. That was the M12 just firing one in. Didn't seem to get anything. There's no signal that there's anyone there. Of course, he's working on the basis the IKV hasn't reassigned or redeployed himself somewhere safer. Got the box tank covering the BZ58, and here comes the IKV. He's not stunned, but he is a one-shot, and we're almost loaded. We could get this as a kill if we can get loaded in time. Rounds out. Oh, it went short. Oh no. But the 65-2 has gone down. Super Hellcat got him, even though our shell missed. I think it might have actually distracted him long enough that we could get it in. Now we can move forward. In fact, now would be a great time for both the M12 and the AMX to move forward towards the enemy cap area. They've only got 3 left, and their AMX 13F3 is now running for it. And there's the GW. Actually, they were at the back. Okay, we've got the GW hiding in the low ground there next to the water. Rounds out. Here we go. This should be a kill. Good. A very, very good lineup of, not lineup, it's not the word I meant, but he anticipated that the GW would keep pulling back, and he did, and he walked right into the shell blast. Now, we're working on the basis that that AMX 13 is still there. The BZ58 is now really close. Now, use the, you can use the auto aim. He done it, and he did hit him, but now he needs to get out of here quick to avoid getting hit by the BZ, and he's done it. He's got behind the mound. Now he needs to make a run for it. So we're into the last 2 minutes. The Super Hellcat is up the other end near the cap. Oh, he's going for the reload. He wants the last kill of the game, which of course is the BZ. The BZ's hunting him, but he could take him out if he can get one very good shot on target. So get ready for the auto aim. That will make sure the gun is at the lowest depression when you fire. Where did he go, the BZ? There he is! Okay, aim. Well, we stopped him. Only 27 hit points, but it means to the BZ that he went straight past us and didn't realize we were behind him. We'll get another chance to fire. We've got 3 stun shells left. There he is. The Super Hellcat's coming to our aid. We've been spotted, and that is distracting, but the BZ is looking at the Super Hellcat. Okay, we're going to get a few seconds. We're in the last minute. Okay, auto aim on. Dialing in. Oh, yes! The BZ kills the Super Hellcat, but we get the kill on him. And that's the end of the game. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was a first-class tanker for fingernail clipping in the AMX 13F3AM. He managed to get a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. In fact, he got 5, one short of getting a top gun and 1/3 of the enemy team. He also got a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 10, twice that. And he also got a win rate of 3,510, which is super unicum standard. And yes, he did very well indeed to win that one for his team right at the end of the game. We look at team score. We can see he didn't get the highest damage in the game. That actually went to the Super Hellcat, but he didn't get a high caliber because it wasn't 20% of the enemy hit pool. He got 2,414. Second highest was the Chopper on the enemy team with 2,356. And third highest turned out to be the BZ-58, the last enemy who was killed. And he got a top gun and 1,815 hit points of damage. We can see that fingernail clipping got 1,758, just beaten by the M12, who died when he went up the other end of the map. And yes, that puts fingernail clipping in 5th place when it comes to damage. He also comes second when it comes to kills because he got 5 kills, but the BZ-58 managed to get 6. And in 3rd place, we got the Super Hellcat, who died just at the end of the game, and he had 3. And when it came to base XP, it was the Super Hellcat again. He got 1,093, the only player to get over 1,000. But in 2nd place, it's fingernail clipping with 905, followed by the Tog 2 with 865. He fired 21 rounds in that game. Got 5 direct hits on the enemy, no penetration, but he did get 14 splash. Damage of 1,758, of which 1,090 were at more than 300 meters. So you can see just under 700 hit points of damage was done at close range, and most of that against the BZ-58. He did receive 1 hit from, yes, him, the BZ-58, 1 penetrating shot, and 9 enemy vehicles were damaged. No, that's not 9. That's me mixing it up. 8 enemy vehicles damaged, 5 destroyed, and he got 5 stuns, but no stun assists. And if he had got stun assist, I think that would have given him the ace tanker. But he did fire a lot of non-stun HE in that game, trying to do greater damage to the enemy. On a free-to-play account, he actually made only 830 credits, but he did get 4,525 experience points on a ×5 days, so it was worthwhile from that perspective. So, yes, a very close call by fingernail clipping. I think the problem he was having right at the end of the game is the fact that the AMX 13F3 doesn't have any gun depression, 0 degrees. The barrel of the howitzer is very long and it's very big. And because it's mounted so low in the vehicle, it actually means that when you're trying to lower it, the vehicle gets in the way. So yes, 0 gun depression. And that means as well, if you're very up close and personal with the enemy, you have to try and use auto aim to get the gun barrel and keep the barrel down when you're aiming at an enemy. If the enemy is slightly below you, you can't get your barrel down. And that makes it really difficult because the enemy can look up at you, but you can't look down and shoot at him because your vehicle is preventing it. So the ideal situation is to either be lower than the enemy target you're actually firing at, or to run away and get the ground to help you so that the you're shooting into a ridgeline, which the enemy then has to come up over in order to get at you. Then you can shoot at it. He was having a lot of difficulty trying to get the gun barrel on that BZ-58 when he was going after the Super Hellcat. But he did manage to get that round into the BZ at the last moment to get the victory. Hope you enjoyed that battle. If you did, please give this video a like, and thank you for watching.